Good morning. Welcome to Flat Earth Early Bird number 1636. I'm your host, Arwin. And before I start the show, please don't forget to share it on any platform you deem fit. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell notification so you know when I'm going live, which is normally 1 p.m. Amsterdam time in the weekdays and 2 p.m. Amsterdam time in the weekend. And please also do support me through the PayPal and the Patreon. That would be much appreciated. And I can always use the support, so please keep it coming. That would be great. Right, so yeah, the weather today it's still a bit cloudy, but there's definitely sun coming through this time. And it's the wind's picked up a bit. It actually did rain yesterday for a bit, but I mean, it was not a storm. It was just a couple of drops a couple of times, and that's it pretty much. So yeah, I'm kind of disappointed. I hoped to have like a real rainstorm and all that, but nope. Just a couple of drops. But it's still cloudy. I don't know. It could still happen. Right, but yeah, despite all those clouds, it's still kind of sunny. Alright, plants are doing great. Right. Hello Oz, first in chat. Richard G, good to see you. It is Monday, the 19th of June 2023. And I feel pretty good. I had a really late night though. It was a really odd experience last night. But yeah, I'll tell you about it. Let's see. Yeah, because I was just kind of hanging around watching typical Flat Earth streams. And yeah, I was just kind of like looking around on D-Live, and suddenly this German kind of like music channel popped up in the recommended. I'd never seen that before, and it was just really weird because just a couple of guys in there chatting all German. They didn't understand English though, and they were playing just like music videos from all these all different kinds of music genres, and I mean all over the freaking place. But it was all like, it was all, it's hard, it was all so freaking German. I mean, the lineup that he rolled out, and even the way that he put the music videos in order with each other, because there was like really like sort of like Viking metal and shit, and like pirate songs, but also like André Rieu classical in between, and like, what is it again, Son of Bob Marley, like what the fuck. But the everything, and like Russian classical music with like Cossack dancing, like what? What was that? It was all interesting, kind of weird to have like more super mainstream classical popular music in there also. It's just, but it was so German. It reminded me exactly of like going to Germany and then like going to a sort of disco party there. It's exactly the type of music they run, and they even do it with that random super different contrast. And so I kept hanging around there for like 2 hours, even though it was really late, or maybe longer. And it was like almost like I was at Castle Fest with just a bunch of Germans in the chat talking and talking like Germans and being very German and very pro-German, and they were all very anti-politics and anti-New World Order. They were aware of that, and it was just a weird experience. Like I suddenly popped in Castle Fest, or which is more like a Renaissance fair with reenactment and all that, but and like more Gothic also in between. It's just like, what? So it feels like I kind of been to a festival last night, and I stayed up way too late with that. And well, like I practically went to bed at 5, but still I feel pretty rested. But that was like just a surreal experience. Anyway, hello Slow-Mo Moonbuggy and LSG. Did he play any Kraftwerk? Not that I spotted. It wasn't like super electric. It was like more Gothic rock classic oriented. Not so much like electro and cyber style and all that. So yeah, no Kraftwerk. But a lot of different music, and a lot of like newer sort of like Gothic rock music that I've never heard before, never seen before. It was pretty damn good even. It's like, whoa. So I guess that's all still going out there. Right, but it wasn't electro style. It was all this kind of Gothic rock, classic, Viking metal, pirate songs, André Rieu. It was like they had literally this transition from songs, and like nobody squealed about it or even said anything. Like they're used to it. They're German. It would play like this hyped up, but pretty cool, like Viking song. We're going to Valhalla, like really serious. Like it was like getting into it. And then it's like, oh, Andrea, like what the fuck? What kind of transition is that? Oh yeah, it's a German transition. They typically do that. Yeah. So that was funny. I actually ended up, because there were a bunch of trolls like being super Debbie Downers and like, hey, the pedophiles are taking over. Literally, they were saying that in German. And I I actually started to get involved and like told them like, hey, maybe complaining about it doesn't actually make it go away. There's other things you could do to attempt to actually do something about it instead of just complaining and ruining people's party. And then eventually I like even started to roll out. I didn't mention flat earth at any point, but I did say like, hey, you know, like the guys were kind of having anti-Catholic sentiment. So I was like, hey, did you know the Catholics actually gave us our satanic fake cosmology? I just said it like that. Like, did you know that all these scientists, quote unquote, like all that cosmology stuff all comes from Catholic priests and Jesuits? Did you know that? And I think that some of the guys in there actually caught on to that because somebody just came in like, I don't trust you. Like, okay, sure. It was weird. Because before that I had even told them about my ideas of the Bible and like, well, how it's practically like the satanic Bible without Christianity even knowing it, because the original was destroyed as kind of sort of hinted at in the very New Testament, and everybody's just not getting it. It's a giant trick and everybody's fallen for it, and in the meantime like, oh, Protestants versus Catholics. They were literally like, oh, we're Protestants, we hate Catholics. And I'm like, yeah, this might be a little bit of bad news for you, but they're pretty much exactly the same thing. It's just like, no, we want to be the ones that do that. Not you. We don't want your theocratic power, but we're going to do basically your religion in our own way with like slight alterations. Right, so that whole kind of like thing rolled out of me, even went as far as to tell them like, yeah, did you know evolution is complete bullshit and that's actually the opposite? Our ancestors were really large and probably telepathic. Well, the guy whose channel it was, it absolutely blew his mind. He like gave signs of that in the chat. So who knows, maybe some of them are actually listening right now. That would be kind of interesting. Anyway. Yeah, LSG, good to see you. How are you all doing? Oh, finally had some good dinner also yesterday. I really needed that. I mean, it's such a big difference for the next morning. It's like, even though I went to bed kind of late, it's just I had great dinner with like garlic sauce with like cut herbs, oregano, basil, parsley. It's really, it makes a big difference. You're feeling grumpy this morning? Oh, okay. Why is that? Is it because it's Monday? Anyway, yeah, I'm feeling kind of good because I just had kind of like an unexpected festival experience all online. I mean, it is basically a festival to me, because what is a festival? Well, you go a place, you listen to music, and you talk with strangers. And that's, well, I didn't go anywhere, but I definitely listened to a bunch of music that I haven't heard before, and talked with strangers. So it was like exactly like a festival, except for the physically being there part. You can't shake it? Right. Well, sometimes it's just like that. I'll try to keep it in mind, LSG. Just take it easy. Maybe, yeah, I'd say like wood cutting or something, but it's probably not the right moment for it. Because grumpiness, like heavy physical action, does kind of help to shake it, in my experience. And not completely, but it will at least like get the spike off there. And then you'll just be like a bit, but not in a way that's like really volatile. So maybe that would help. Just splitting some logs. Right, anyway, I'm kind of waiting for Steamy Traveler to get in the chat, because I got his package. But, I don't know. You're just as curious as me to see what he sent me. Well, I kind of cheated because it's basically described on the label. So, right, but anyway, I'll give you a peek. It's this one. Right. But, yeah. It says on it, men's cotton t-shirt, a black t-shirt, and a coffee mug. So he probably sent me another one of the t-shirts. And a coffee mug, I don't know what that is. Maybe he's got like a Mifa coffee mug or something. But, yeah, I'm opening it up when he gets in the chat. Oh, you finished chopping wood? Okay, LSG. Right. What? You watched the NASA recruitment video with Lieutenant Uhura? Was it like an older video? That's hilarious. And weird. $1977. Wow. I think I might have seen that one time, like in 2015, come by, but dude, whoa, damn, YouTube had a lot of trouble with that video. Oh yeah, no, I haven't seen this one before. Huh. DC Force? Ah. Steamy Travelers just arrived. You'll get in my chat soon. Best video you've seen in ages. Wow, really? Is it that good? Okay. Guess I'll have to take a look at that later. Did anybody see like that last video from Mind Unveiled? Like that was pretty mind-blowing. That apparently just recently, it seems from the descriptions, but you can see that in his video, that some like medical laboratories have actually started engaging in making homunculus. Like they call it like, well, you just gotta what the fuck that. And the guy from the video himself is kind of blown away by that, but apparently like after his big video released about the homunculus things, some people out there have actually started doing that, but they don't call it that. It's crazy. Or at least it seems like that, the way they describe it. I mean, there's some weird shit going on out there, man. Weird shit. Underground tunnels, and Richard G, good to see you. Is that when they try and go? Oh well, if you haven't seen anything about that homunculus series, then it's gonna be, yeah, you're not really gonna get it. But I mean, homunculus is like, it is like growing a human, but it is like growing a human from non-living material. It's really fucking bizarre. Like really bizarre. It's surreal. It's like magic. It's like, it doesn't make any fucking sense, really. But it happens. They can apparently make like mini humanoid creatures that even allegedly can live from non-cell material, which is like, what the fuck is that? Like, that's crazy. And it's not like, oh, we started life from scratch. No, it's weirder. It's different. There's something really freaky about it. And yeah, it falls under like pretty high alchemy from the past, and it's still involved. Golem, homunculus, same archetype. No, it's not really like that. Although homunculus can be, I mean, there's a homunculus in Dungeons and Dragons. Like, it is in there. Like, I actually have it in my D&D book in a rewrite of a prestige class. It's literally in there. I didn't really know all too well what it was, but I had some insights about it. I actually have a really freaky memory, and I don't know if it's in the physical real world or not. It could be part of the visions, because, yeah, the guy in there is exactly the same looking as the guy in the physical world, although they are probably not the same. But the Jesuit guy tried to show me a homunculus one time, and I profusely refused. I was like, no, there feels something really bad about it. Like, I had this real distinct feeling of, like, pain in here. Like, there's something evil about it. And I didn't want to see it. I was really freaked out about the idea that, yeah, we're creating like grafting the spirit of a living being into like a non-living material, and then create like a living creature out of it, even though very fragile. It's so freaky. What is that? Are you serious, Richard? You don't know what alchemy is, for fuck's sake. But yeah, chemistry basically was a discipline erected out of alchemy studies. But there's a lot of weird alchemy in all kinds of directions. It's weird stuff in there. And there's also a lot of like esoteric spirit stuff. So it's not exactly chemistry. Heard and seen in movies. Yeah. What's the name of the homunculus? It's Mind Unveiled. I've talked about this channel many times here. Right, so yeah, there's one major video. It's the main, it's like crazy long. It's almost 10 hours large. I haven't watched the whole thing. But this is basically the main video of that channel. That is about Among. It's like the masterpiece. It's putting everything to. It's too big. It's too fucking big. I can't watch all that, man. It's too much. It's gonna take me like months to get through that shit. Maybe. Also because I don't know, homunculus. I just find it kind of unsettling. It's all so freaking weird. There are shorter videos, though, in that channel about it, so you could also check out the other ones. Right, but the most recent video there is about I was basically caught it or suspecting that it's out there in the news. Weird. Hey, Steamy Traveler, by the way, good to see you. Got him. So let's unpack this thing. It's a lot of tape on there. Straight through it. What? Okay. It's really stuffed in there, isn't it? What the hell? Okay. Oh, I got a letter. Woo! I got a letter! I got a letter! I can't read a letter. It's actually handwritten. I can't believe it. Okay, that's hilarious. You sent a message in the package. Hey Arwin, hope you get your package this time. Belated Merry Christmas. Yeah, thanks. It's a new t-shirt design. Okay. Okay. So it's not the same one. Oh. Ah, it's an early bird mug. It's a pretty cool one too. Wow. Thanks. That's a pretty cool looking mug. Heavy. Huh. Thanks for mug. What's this? A watch? What the fuck? I don't wear watches. Okay. Looks cool enough. But yeah, sir, I'm not gonna wear watches though. I have stopped wearing watches since I was like 16. I'm not doing that again. And a new t-shirt. Oh, it's an early bird t-shirt. Okay. Huh. With my YouTube channel on there. Cool. Well, now you wear watches. No, I don't. I really, really don't. But yeah, cool. Wow, that print's pretty cool. Thanks! Awesome, man. T-shirt's really cool. Let me just put it on for a second. I appreciate the idea of the watch, but I mean, I really don't wear watches. You should have absolutely asked me before that, because I just don't like them. I don't like having that on my wrist at all. Yeah. Cool. How's this gonna look with that? Excellent. Read the watch bag to help keep the show on time. Yeah. Very funny. I mean, it is a pretty cool looking watch. If I would wear watches, I would wear this. But I mean, I don't wear watches. But I'm definitely keeping it. Yeah, thanks, man. That is pretty awesome. Oof. Oh, I'm not having that extra t-shirt on though. God. Way too hot. Ugh. Oof. Use it next. Push in the ground. Yes, Steamy Traveler. That's nice. Yeah, but really awesome. Thanks for the package, man. It's really cool. That mug is like surprisingly good looking, by the way. I've never had a mug like that before. It really looks like a prop. It's like something I'd have like sitting in the background or something. In the future, if I ever gonna have like a more proper background showcase. But yeah, it's a pretty cool looking mug. And the t-shirt also. It's cool. Thanks, man. Mm-hmm. Has a light button where? I don't see any buttons on there. But it looks like, yeah, this thing is like self-illuminating. It has like those arms that like glow in the dark. So you can like just push in the... I don't even know what a freaking crown is, Steamy Traveler. I don't know what you're talking about. Is this supposed to be a crown? Because that's not pushable. There's no other thing that is in there. But I mean, that's not a pushing button. You can pull it out, but that doesn't do anything. Wind the winder thing. Yeah, it's not a button. See? Not a button. Doesn't happen. Google it. No, I'm not Googling it. It seems like it's like a wind-up thing. Is this like battery operated, or is it like purely motion wound up or something? Push it and it will light up. Oh, right. Oh, wow. You can't even see that. You can only see it if it's completely dark. Then you see it light up just a little bit. I mean, you don't see it. Oh, wait. Does the camera actually pick that up? No. Well, it seems a little... I saw something. But it's like so super faint that just in the daylight you barely even see it. Battery quartz, right. Cool. Timex expedition. In the glow? Never heard of it. It looks pretty cool. It's very apparent when it's dark. Okay. Cool. Yeah, thanks very much for the package. It's pretty cool. I'm gonna take this now. Saved it yesterday and I really feel like it today. Hey, Terra 306, good to see you. Yeah, pretty bizarre, Steamy Traveler, that they just lost the package. Like, what is that? I mean, did the postal train get robbed or something? Did it get on one of those trains? Right there. I thought you would think he was pretty cool. I mean, he is. He's very Indian looking. And I thought he would inspire you. He inspires me, man. I think he's really impressive. And he's really doing shit. He's really doing stuff. Running for president and everything. You barely hear about him. Except through his own channels. And he's doing a lot. You can be one leader? Well, sure. But I mean, like, leader on an entire country, that's quite a scale. Like, I'd first try being leader of a business and then maybe like become like a leader of a town or even a city. And then from that point, like, because you gotta, to really be the proper leader, you gotta know what is out there and how it works. And Shiva has actually done the research with that. So, right, just having that instinct of leadership and defense, protection of those that are part of your flock. That's one part of it. The other part is being informed. It's very important. And also, a real leader, the bigger the leadership function, the more all-consuming it becomes time-wise and energy-wise. So the bigger the leader, the more it will consume you. And it's got to be really worth it then. Right? Real ambitious leader, like, really has a transformative or even personal ambition-based goal. You don't just become a leader and then I'm the leader. No, there's something you need to want to accomplish to actually have it work. And Shiva has exactly that. He has a lot of transformative ideas that are very interesting and should definitely be tried out. Real serious modernization of like hierarchical structure, things, all kinds of things. So he's a leader and he's trying to go for president to change things into something. It's not like, oh, get rid of all this old shit. No, he has stuff to replace it with. And that's what makes it so fascinating. Because he has all these ideas to fix it. Alright, Underground Tunnel, see you later. Thanks for popping by. India is a humongous mess. Yeah, exactly. So, start from the bottom up. Right, exactly. And just start with your town, start with the local people, start with like, is there anything you can do to just change people's habits into making things work better? That everybody's more satisfied about it. Right? And then just keep scaling it up. Right, anyway, if you really want to know how to do such things, you should just watch Dr. Shiva. He has probably like sort of instruction videos on like how you should actually do that. I'm kind of like improvising based on my overall insights. He's like actually written books about it, so but yeah, there's a lot that is up for fixing in India, indeed. And probably one of the most important parts of that is the pollution factor, because pollution is a universal problem in India on all fronts. And yeah, as a person from India, you should probably be quite aware of that. Because it's a problem culturally, industrially, and like, yeah, it's been there for a while. And the corruption doesn't help either. Because it's like, I think I've seen a documentary about it a while ago, was typically with pharmaceutical, that India produces a lot of like pharmaceutical drugs, like aspirin type, like more basic drugs, and it creates a giant polluted mess. And then they like, it's like, yeah, there's laws against that, but then they just bribe the local police or whatever, which is much cheaper than actually fixing it. And that's like persisting, that type of situation, for like a century. So corruption is a big problem that actually contributes to the pollution, but it's also the culture. Anyway, yeah, but sure, yeah, there's definitely things that you could do. A good thing to start is to find more people, preferably of like around your own age, the younger generations, that really feel the same way, that are really willing to dig it all out, research how it is working and how it could be fixed. And then you could, like, I don't know, get a team together, like actually an organized group, like a movement, right? I mean, in India, getting the numbers is quite a lot easier than if you compare that to like in the West, because there's a lot of people. So that could work, making a movement. And then try to tackle these factors, leading things up. Right, and you could even, like, if it kind of works with the movement, you could even like try to think of like really building a real movement out of it, and like even indeed attract like teenagers, like to maybe like go places and be like, yeah, like you're young but your nation needs you. Like you could give it a nationalist flair to it, like, hey, your nation needs you, don't get caught up in commercial nonsense, help fix your homeland, right? Something like that. Like a, yeah, I don't know, you could, yeah, I'm just thinking out loud. If you really want to go there, and I mean there's definitely opportunity, and it might be there's already like all kinds of people out there already doing it, so that you don't have to find them. It's a matter of you, they finding you. It might already be there, it might already be underway. You never really know until you go looking. I mean, Shiva has been out there for a while. He's bound to have inspired other people to start doing this already. That's what I'm saying. And I mean, there's a lot of people in India, so there's a good chance there are already kind of like these movements out there. Maybe even in your region, your direct region. So find out. Look around. Talk to people. Get a speakerphone. That's very American of you, Richard G. But yeah, maybe. I don't know, like how the. I don't know if that's even legal in India. I know that like going around with a speakerphone here in the Netherlands is like straight out illegal unless you have like special permission for that, like because of a protest or something. Illegal, that's right. So also important to note, no, you want to be a leader, you want to create a movement, learn the laws, learn what's actually allowed and what isn't allowed. And as you're like recruiting movement and people are like, yeah, we're doing this, make sure that they also know the law, right? So that your movement doesn't like grow feral and starts doing things outside of your sight that are actually illegal and that will blemish the name of the movement, right? So keeping order, very important. And yeah, you know how that works with you. You know that you can get quite carried away. Well, keep in mind, people you're going to recruit with similar sentiments will have similar problems. So maybe you could even help those people by giving them some wisdom of you dealing with those issues, right? So anyway, so soon we'll have the new Clean India movement. Super religious, following scriptures. Which scriptures exactly? I mean, Christian or like the Hindu based scriptures? I mean, scriptures is kind of a super overgeneral statement. Which scriptures? But I mean, if you're talking about just the old Indian religions and all that, it only makes sense. I mean, if the government, the modern government, is like attacking people with medical experimentation and like forcing people to stay home, I mean, the natural logical response from the public against that is to, okay, modern shit fucking it up for us. Well, okay, there's only one place people will go, and that's to the roots. It's like, oh, the modern thing is failing and corrupting. Well, there's the roots. So yeah, it's a logical response that a lot of people will go digging in the old religions again. It will create a revival of that. It's natural that that happens. It like happens every time a government goes and does something like that. It happens every time. Every country has that. It's like, oh, the country attacks you. Guess what? Old religion suddenly becomes popular again. It happens continually. The more corrupt and fucked up and anti-national a government becomes, racist against its own original natives and all that, the more those people will absolutely abandon modernism and dig into like the old styles and old religions. It's what happens every time, everywhere, every culture. Hindu scriptures, right? Memorized the Bhagavad Gita. Ooh. They keep giving you advice based on it. Oh, okay. Huh. Hey, Flatter Sage, good to see you. Alright. Well, I don't really know what that's like here at Terra 306. I mean, I don't know, like, the actual Hindu scriptures. So I don't know if there's like deep esoteric value in it like I do know with Christ. I know it because I can see it. I can see it as I read it. It's like, to me, when I read, or I even like somebody else like quotes something from the Bible, like if Jesus's words are in there, the highlighted, it's like everything's like blah 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 blah. It's like obviously written by people arranging things, and then there's Christ's words, and they just like stand out like a tower of meaning, like tower of meaning that way surpasses like that contemporary scenario in which between Jesus's words have been placed. And that's something I can see, feel, and argue, right? So there's deep fractal implications to Jesus's words within the New Testament. I know that about it. I don't know about that with the Hindu scriptures. I have a suspicion, but I don't know. I haven't fully understood or assimilated them in order to conclude whether they do or don't. And all the confrontations with like Hindu religious people in the past, I did not get that feeling from it. I got all that strong cultural identity feeling from it, but not fractal insight. And a lot of like habits that they would recommend seemed like out of place in ways. So I don't know, Tarot. I'll just be very honest about it. I don't know. But maybe you do have that insight about it, because you are obviously more studied in it. Is older than... Yeah, sure. And probably less corrupt, or maybe, I don't know. Because, I mean, the Bible, I don't even think that it's really the original Bible. Although, yeah. It's like the Catholic Bible and all its hybrids since then. Like, that is the original Bible. It's the Catholic one. And then all the other split off religions, they make their own versions, and the Protestant version and the King James and this and that and this and that. But it's all religiously structured. It's all the astrology in there, all of it. There is no exception. Maybe the Jeffersonian Bible is kind of an exception to that, and that's why I'm really interested to read that at least once, or have like a good long conversation with somebody that's really studied it. That would be even handier. But I mean, yeah, who wants to spend time like hours with me about that? I don't know. But right. The original. Well, yeah, flatter state. Well, this, funnily enough, one of the Germans yesterday, when I brought this up, he actually said, like, yeah, it's probably in the Vatican library. There's a good chance that there is the original pre-Saul Bible. Like the Bible that Saul killed all those Christians for. He basically exterminated that Christian tradition in order for the Council of Nicaea to eventually form and create the Bible on which all Bibles are now based, on that pattern. Right? But there might be an original in the Vatican library, sure. And when we read it, it will probably like, what the hell? It's completely different. Like, it's a different locations, different events, different peoples. Like, it was just completely different. It probably barely even had anything to do with the frickin' Middle East over there. Okay? And like much more historical related things that happened that are just like not on the map right now. They're like, that stuff is just not in there. It's been so rewritten to make it all about the Palestine region and all that. Now Israel. But yeah, there's a good chance that there's an original in the Vatican library. And I'm really wondering too, like, will that ever be released? Maybe someday. But then to like put it next to the modern Bibles and to see like, where did Jesus's words actually come from? Because it's still, again, on pure intuition, I think that the New Testament is basically rewritten, like almost alchemically, with all the astrology input and all the Gnostic stuff and everything, using Jesus's original words. So it's like they took the original real Bible, where Jesus would literally lay out all these things to give all that advice, all the insights, and even probably cosmology aspects. I mean, no, you don't hear him talk about that in the New Testament, but why the hell wouldn't he? Right? So that's probably all in the original Christian Bible. And they just took Jesus's words, or the ones that they thought they could use, the more powerful ones, and then they wrote the new Bible around his words. So that it would sort of resemble his life and the old stories, but be reformatted with new locations and new esoteric influences and more bizarre alchemical things, like the Three Kings following a star. Like, oh really? Oh yeah, sure, that is so much to do with reality. Really? Right? I mean, endless speculation. It's very inspiring, but does it actually have to do with anything really historically physical? I fucking doubt it. I really, really do. It just seems an alchemical input. Esoteric stuff. Stuff done afterwards. Right. But it would be very interesting to compare like an old real Christian Bible with like how the modern version has displayed Christianity, and if you could like to then like cross-reference, like, oh, here is that part that we all know from the Bible, and it's like, it's right there in the book. It's like, this is another scenario, but it also applies like that. It would be very fascinating to be able to do that, especially for like an open-minded biblical historian, I think. The Dead Sea Scrolls. Oh, Tiger Bear. Yeah, I don't know. I've had a lot of could be hearsay, that the Dead Sea Scrolls aren't just a fraud. That the dating didn't make any sense, and so yeah. From what I think Dead Sea Scrolls are interesting, but I hear that it's a fabrication. It's a plant. Okay, Flatter Sage, that's weird. What do you mean family history was destroyed? What? How does that even work? Frickin' Catholics always destroying history. But that's like the most fucked up thing about them, is that the theocracy was literally trying to rewrite reality. It's so satanic. I mean, the theocracy that's just there to rewrite history. They get in, they erase your history, and then they tell you what your new history is. That's what they used to do. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine something so messed up? I mean, I can't think of a more satanic thing. Some fucking empire getting in your face, in your village, and basically people having long-standing family traditions and verbal traditions and history, and then just like, no, you're not allowed to do that. And like, we're destroying your records, and here is your new history. This is how you should remember your history. And if you do that other thing, we will execute you. I mean, unbelievably satanic. Like, there's no like empire that's not brutally evil that would do that. To just cut off people's spiritual roots like that. It's so sickening. And they never stopped doing it, guys. They never stopped doing it. It's on record still being done in the 20th century as they try to fabricate the reversed world cosmology of Satan to put all of us in. They're still doing it. It never stopped. Catholic Church destroyed original Christianity and is full on, provably, a church of Satan that reversed reality, erases history, withholds ancient information from the public, erases public consciousness. It's the most satanic organization the world's ever fucking seen. It's more evil than any fucking organization that would just go out and like genocide entire people. It's more evil than that. More evil. Yeah? Because the people slaughtered can still recover. If they just have the law. If some people got away and had their law and remain as is. But if you go in with a bunch of priests and a bunch of torturers, and you literally force the people that have the lore to forget their lore, to torture it out of them, then that people loses their soul. It's unbelievably evil. Unbelievable. Right. And I'm quite convinced that this Catholic system and the fucking church and the fucking Pope, it should end. It should end this century, and it should end permanently. It should be unraveled, and all involved parties should be hunted down. And I mean hunted down everywhere, and that means in the middle of the woods, on the top of the mountains, in the deepest caverns. Find all of them. Find all of these agents. Anything related to the Vatican. Gather all of them. Nothing must be left. It must be completely exterminated. Yeah? The same thing that the Catholic Church did to all these people for their theocratic Satan power should be subjected to them. So that the entire spirit that's been carried through the spirit of Satan for over 1,000 years is permanently disconnected. Leave, Satan. Let Christ return. The real Lord. And Catholics should be banished from this realm in body and spirit forever until the end of time. Right? And that fucking includes pretty much the head of every fucking church out there. Yeah? Including these Protestants. And the supposed nobility that are Protestant. All of that shit. They're all part of the same fucking Satan machine. All of it. Yeah? Look at these kings and queens now that are supposedly Christian. They're all sick, corrupted, hypocritical maniacs. Anti-human, sick bastards. That use Christ like a mantle of glory. And there's nothing but rotting stench and death underneath it. Just like the freaking Catholic Church, yeah? Encapsulate Christ. Oh, we're Christian. Oh, yeah. And then have this entire tradition surrounding it. And everybody follows that tradition and finds their way, and then nobody picks up on that it actually all contradicts everything Christ taught. Yeah? Yeah, nobody gets to that part. Yeah, that's the big trick. That's their big Satan spell, to encapsulate and isolate Christ. That's what they did, and that's what all Christianity has become based on. All of it. All of it is doing that. Everybody does it. Everybody, oh, quote the Bible, oh, look at Christ, he's so great. Oh, now let's call him God. Now let's follow Paul instead of Christ. Let's do everything wrong. Let's idolize him. Even though I told people not to do that. Let's just rearrange what it says. Like, oh, he prays too? No, that's not praying. Yeah? Let's just read it the way we want to read it. Yeah? Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Satan. Thanks for teaching us how to do that with Catholicism. Thanks a lot. Now it's time to unlearn all that crap. Right, anyway. Hope you're all enjoying the show. The gusto certainly spiced me up a bit. deeply rooted pagans refuse anything by the church. Yeah, good on them. I mean, fuck that church, man. It's just getting... The church was like SJW shit now, yeah? Can you imagine back then, 1,000 years ago or something, Catholic Church knocking on your door like, hey, you gotta do it differently. Yeah? You're not using the right pronouns. I mean, that's the Catholic Church. They invented that shit. They probably invented this new shit too. Okay? I bet that the fucking pronouns bullshit and all was probably invented by some Catholic priest. I mean, why wouldn't it be? Everything else is. All of this reversed world crap comes from them. So why not this one? Would be interesting if somebody could track it down, like who first started this bullshit about pronouns, right? Because it's just like the Catholic Church in medieval times. Just get in people's face, ancient traditions like 100 generations or whatever, and like, oh no, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it, you have to say this. You can't do that. Like, go fuck yourself, dudes. You disgusting Satan bitches. Get out. You hypocritical fuckwits. Skeptic found enough gold to what? You started it. You're such a boomer, Aries. The whole pronoun thing is grammatically right. Yes, it is. And, I mean, you can't even just say, hey, I may, he, man, right? Or she, woman. Like, if you just say, hey, this is how I want to be addressed, my pronouns, then the real pronoun people, they object. It's like, no, you're cisgender. Like, go fuck yourself. I have to get your pronouns right? Well, why don't you get my pronouns right? I want to be he, him. Yeah? No, can't do that. Go fuck yourself then, you hypocritical bitch. How about I just use the pronouns bitch, fuckwit for you, huh? You don't want to use my pronouns? Well, here's your pronouns. Bitch, fuckwit. Anyway, who cares about that? I don't talk to pronoun people anyway. Like, never. Soon as I find out somebody is actually having that in their mind and stringing any level of importance to it other than pure ridicule and get the hell rid of it, I never talk to those people ever again. As soon as I see that, it's like permanently excommunicated. Permanently. If you're into that, it's over. We will never know each other. $3 or $5. 3 cents worth. Are you sure? I mean, even one little grain should be more than 3 cents. I mean, 3 cents worth of gold, that's like... That's so little you wouldn't even be able to see it with your bare eyes. Surely it must be more than that. I mean, tell me that you found at least like $1 or $2 worth of gold. Miss Gillis spelled Bob. Maybe 10 cents. Everybody having fun? Man, time is flying. But yeah, Skeptic, about that gold site, do you ever like, is it really local? Like, maybe there's like even in the rocks. Have you ever tried to just take some of those river rocks and just crush them? Maybe there's like even gold flakes inside of the rock still. Not exposed yet, I don't know. Alright. Skeptic. Yeah, still interesting. I'm frowned. It's frowned on to disturb the... Okay. But I mean mostly, like, can't you just, like, take just one of the rocks that's in the river? You could just take it with you at home or something and just crush it to see what's inside. Like, if there's anything gold related inside of it. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. Quartz is visible gold. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, no, that's really cool actually. Right. Anyway. Right, what am I gonna call today? I think it's been a great show thus far, but I'm like kind of puzzled as to what should I call it. Sometimes making up names for shows can be real difficult. Huh. Okay, slow mo bug. That's bizarre. Really? You think that? Okay. Well, maybe. Maybe. I mean, technically, yeah, if you really think that it would be good. But I mean, before you're gonna like publicly release anything like that, I will definitely want to hear it. So, yeah, I'll give you reserved permission to try that out. Makes me a bit nervous, although. But yeah, I mean, if you're gonna have like a Punisher song, and you think you could use Ragewin clips in there, sure. I'd be curious to see like how you would do that. But I kind of demand a veto option, if you don't mind, if you're gonna try that. I really want to, because I mean, Ragewin is, yeah, it sounds weird, but it's kind of private. Yeah, I know. I do it on my show, and like everybody can see it, but it's my show though. That's the difference. I mean, if anybody out there is gonna like make video clips or whatever with me doing that, I will get them a strike. I will give them copyright strike and shit, because I don't want that. Right? But if you can use it creatively in a way that's not distasteful, in my personal opinion, then sure. Yeah, try it out. I'm kind of curious as to what you had in mind. Rage win against the machine. No. Right. Right, I got a name. Unexpected Online Festival, Alchemy Revival, and Skeptic's Gold Flakes. I just wanted to put that in there, because I think that the word gold flakes is really funny sounding, so. Oh wait, I forgot. Of course, package. Okay, I'll leave the alchemy out of it. Right. Unexpected online festival, Steamy package, and Skeptic's gold flakes. I like it. It sounds good, doesn't it? Like that. It's like really important like that too. That when you actually read a title, that as you read it, it sounds nice in your head. It flows right. It's very important. If you don't do that, then like you get weird Mandela side effects that are very confusing, because it's like it doesn't work in your head, and or it's like almost perfect, but there's something wrong about it. You're gonna then have weird aesthetic corrections in your head. You're famous now. Yeah, Richard G. Yeah. Yeah, no, but there's a lot of people that have that issue, that their histories are kind of cut off like that. I don't think that my family line really had that issue too much, or at least from my father's side. I mean, it is very traceable back like to Indonesia and all that. But I mean, the other family is a little bit more complicated, since they were like Germany, the Netherlands, Belgium, and there has been a lot of hassle with all that. You probably understand that. So I don't know the bloodline on that side too well, how far it goes. Especially from my mom's side, that's like a... I don't know if anybody knows that from my mother's side. There's probably some genealogy information out there, I don't know. I've never been super dug into that. My dad has for a bit though, a while ago. But yeah, for me, I don't know, it's kind of weird, because I've got this weird sensation like I don't even feel all that connected. So it's when, oh, my family bloodline, I'm like, but is it really my family though? It's like, that's a weird sensation, by the way, when you have like, is it really, like, because I want to have a film, I just don't really feel part of it like that. And maybe it's like some kind of spiritual thing. My dad seems to have that a little bit too. He was also like, yeah, I'm not really a part of it though. Not really. You're kind of like outsiders. I mean, he's grown into it. He's done his best. Me, less. I am kind of a hermit. My dad was never a hermit like that. But it's just that all these branches from my family, they kind of feel alien to me in many ways. They're like, I am just this weird melange that's kind of like so different from all of that. And I mean, even the family that's around there, they don't contact me. They kind of like, oh yeah, let's just keep him there or something. They don't contact me. I am the black sheep of the family for certain. So yeah, because of that affected, I did not ask for, by the way. I wanted to be part of the family, always. But even as a teenager, they were always like, yeah, but you're kind of weird. You're not one of us. You're not like us. But not never saying it like that, but it would always come to the foreground. And so I'm not really feeling it so much with family, the bloodlines and all that. If there's any root that I do have that does have some calling towards me, it's from the Indonesian part. There's something about that, and there's something about Indonesia in general. It's something magical about it. So many people that get so old, and they stay so young looking, and I have that trait. I have it, and there's something special about it. It's like if you have that stay young looking genetic ability, then that automatically makes you connect with the other Indonesian people that have that. It's like it automatically connects you. It's almost like an elven thing, Lord of the Rings style, right? It's like, yeah, elves, they're elves. They get very old and they're in a certain way, and it's like, oh, hey, an elf, that's one of mine. Like, that's the kind of effect I got with Indonesia. Some of it. Any of my extended family watch my shows? Occasionally, absolutely not. I highly doubt it. I mean, not even my dad does that. And hey, if some of my extended family watches my shows, they're not telling me. So, I mean, yeah, there's a chance that some of them in there going around and trying to find family lines that they might bump into me, and it's like, hey, he's a YouTuber. Okay, let's see what he does. Wait, what? Flat Earth? Ah, get out of here. He's crazy. Because, yeah, that does happen, you know? I mean, it is in the bloodlines that they're all pretty much like ballers, including myself. I was a fanatical baller for a very long time. You have to understand that. I'm not an anti-flat earther, but fanatical baller. I really that's it. And that is also within the family. So in that sense, yeah, I kind of made myself into a black sheep, haven't I? But I mean, it is what it is. I have to do it. I'm not gonna go back. Not gonna go back into the dream of nonsense. I refuse. Last cousin. The nurse stopped talking to me. Right. Well, maybe you should pick it back up and see, like, hey, how's it going? How's your health right now? Any unexpected medical conditions develop? Any friends died of suddenly recently? Right? I mean, a lot of people that excommunicated us during that situation, during the great 2020 experiment, they're bound to have learned since then. There's definitely a good chance that if you just went, they're probably not going to come to you, but you can go back to them and just like, hey, so are you over this now? Have you finally figured it out? Out of her skull? Okay. Try it out though. Renty went back? What does that mean? Went back to what? Oh, you're talking to Skeptic. Right. Yeah, but he didn't though. He just became a scamming grifter. That's all. He didn't go back to the ball. He just became a pathological liar. Right? He kind of bragged to me about it before he went there. Before he got into that shit, like with Infecto. We had Skype calls. He told me, like, yeah, I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna I'm gonna be like a wizard. I'm paraphrasing. I don't know exactly what he said, but he said something like that, like, I'm gonna be playing them. Like, oh yeah, we know it's flat, but I'm gonna play them. I'm gonna do that. He wanted to be like a wizard or a Freemason type, or he wanted to just basically fuck around with the minds of people. And he told me that, honestly, in Skype calls. And I warned him, like, you shouldn't do this. This is really bad. You're going to really regret doing this. And he just like, no, I'm gonna do it. I want to do this. And he did. And well, look at him now. But he didn't go back the ball. He just turned into a lying scammer. And he kind of confessed that to me before he did it. So, right, you can't go back to the globe. It's not possible. Once you really learn the arguments, you can't go back. You can't forget about it and go back. Because now you've already had all the questions answered from the ignorance baller standpoint. You already answered all those questions that would naturally pop up when you first hear it. You can't be a baller anymore. You've figured out the things that you don't know as a baller. You cannot go back to that state. Even if you forget everything, whatever happened, you have some kind of mind wipe or amnesia situation, you already answered the question. So as soon as you hear about flat earth, you will, instead of being like, oh, why isn't it a ball? Oh, this is so ridiculous. You will remember the answers. Because you gave those answers. So you can never go back to the ball once you really learn the arguments. It doesn't work. You can't go back through amnesia. It doesn't work. It only works when you don't engage with flat earth. When you get shocked out of your ball dream and like, whoa, flat earth, what? Wait, what? How does that work? Whoa, no satellites, no space, what? And then you're like, wow, okay, well, that's a crazy story. And then the next day you might forget it. And then it'll be like, oh, what, flat earth? Yeah, we talked about it. So I don't know. I don't care, right? Let's move on. Let's talk about space, blah, blah, blah. It's because you didn't actually figure out the arguments. You kept it at a distance. When you engage, when you actually master the arguments, then you can never go back to that completely oblivious position. It doesn't work. You can't do that. You can only pretend to do that and lie about it. It's the only other option that there's left. Right? Sounds like he was trying to tell you what to be. Yeah, it's not like, that's exactly what it was. He was bored. He was bored with being a goody two-shoe. He disliked me for being such a goody two-shoe. He was agitated at me, even publicly. He would like even prod me and kind of bully me because I was such a freaking goody two-shoe with things. Always honest. Always like never deception. Always be honest. And he didn't like it. He wanted to be a little weird little story fabricator. He wanted that special attention. He wanted people's curiosity. And he wanted it more than he cared about the truth. But I mean, just ask Nathan. When Ranty was still on, he was like always getting on my nerves, always trying to fuck around with me. That happened a lot in like the last year he was there. It was a whole thing. And I did not like it. I had a lot of trouble basically not being super hostile towards Ranty because he was always trying to fuck around with me. Anyway. Right, anyhow. I think I'm gonna round out the show, guys. Time has flown, it's been fun. Hope you all enjoyed the show. I thought it was pretty cool. I am a bit hungry though. I didn't have like an Illuminati croissant or anything. Right. So, thanks everyone for coming. I hope you liked this show. If you did, then please don't forget to Rogans it up. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel, hit the bell notification so you know when I'm going live, which is normally 1 p.m. Amsterdam time in the weekdays and 2 p.m. Amsterdam time in the weekend. And please also do support me through the PayPal and the Patreon. It'll be much appreciated and, well, still very much needed. I mean, like 20 bucks or something, I could still really use it. I mean, I'm still like waiting until the welfare comes in, so it's still like really tight right now. Any support will be very welcome. Right. Anyhow, I'll be back tomorrow with Flat Earth Early Bird number 1637 on a Tuesday, and I'm going to join the Flat Earth debates, which should be starting up in a few minutes from now over at Nathan Oakley 9080 channel. Hope to see you there in the chat, and until the next video, keep it flat.